enough of that. Let's look at the heading. So before all these paragraphs, I'm going to break a line and let's talk about headings. So if you read a book, we have chapter 1 and then many paragraphs. Chapter 2, many paragraphs. Typically, chapter 1 is in bigger letters. So that's like the heading for that section of the book. So the book is divided in different sections. So is this kind of document, if you think about it. So we're going to learn the H1 tag. This stands for heading level 1. So this is like the very topmost heading, meaning this is defining a section, and then what follows is something to be bound to that section. So you can think about maybe chapter 1 or something like that, or whatever. Now you have to close it the same way. After you type whatever you want to show, you close it with less than slash name of the element being H1 and then greater than. Now, if you click top left run, you're going to see chapter 1 in big letters here. So the default style for an H1 is big letters because it's supposed to be, this is a section of this document. We also have different levels for the heading. We have H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So levels 1 through 6. So suppose I have whatever, this is a paragraph, another paragraph, and I want to make a subsection of this whole chapter 1. I can add an H2 here. So less than, H2 greater than, subsection. Then don't forget to close with less than slash H2. And I can put a paragraph. This is a subsection. Click the top left run. You're going to see now I have an H2 here. And if you notice, it's slightly smaller in size than the H1 because it's meant to be a subsection of this bigger section. And then you can type whatever there. I put a paragraph. And then following the same pattern or logic, you can have subsections of subsections of subsections, so on. And that's what the H3 through H6 are meant for. Just to demonstrate, I'm just going to type them all out, but you get the point. This is heading level 3. Close the tag. And then H4, heading level 4. Close the tag. And then H5, heading level 5. Close the tag. Finally, H6, heading level 6. Close the tag. Now you can see here what they look like visually. They become smaller and smaller in font size because they're meant to be like the subsection of the subsection of the subsection, so on. Now, this is relevant for documents, but in today's world of highly interactive apps, its role is a bit ambiguous, not much, meaning to it anymore. I mean, you could try to organize a website using H1 as the top level and then H2 and so on, but it's a bit hard if the apps are very all over the place, not really a document. It's like a highly interactive app like, Instagram or whatever. So that's why some tags in HTML, people are going to use them in different ways that they were originally meant to be. So in HTML, you don't necessarily have to use the tag for its original meaning. You're going to have people modify the style of certain tags. For example, the headings, they might change it to look like something completely different from the default style. So take that with a grain of salt, but I understand this is the original meaning of those tags.